The Rocky Report, brought to you by AMP, Avitas Group, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Montana, EBMS, First Interstate Bank, Montana Tobacco Quit Line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW, Northwestern Energy, Tiorama, Yellowstone Bank, and your local Ford stores. And now, from Pizza Hut on 16th and Grand, your host, Bruce Parker.
Hi everybody, and welcome to our inaugural show of 2015 for the Rocky Report. I'm Bruce Parker. We're coming to you live this year from Pizza Hut in Billings on Grand Avenue. So we hope you can join us throughout the season. We're going to have highlights, talk with coaches Brian Armstrong, Laurie Kelly, and Richard Duffy about all the action for Rocky Mountain College athletics, and much, much more up next on the Rocky Report.
Picking up pieces of my life, sometimes there's ones I just can't find, but they found a home with you. And when I think about the things that we've been through, I know just one thing is true: life is better with you. Whoa, whoa, life is better with you.
My name's Charlie, and I've been rodeoing for about 12 years. You learn to love it, and you grow up with it all the time, and you have to get hooked on a rodeo by somebody, and that's your family. When I lost my granddad, it was pretty rough. Everybody loved him so much, and if he didn't smoke, he'd probably still be here. Athletes try to stay in the best of shape as they can, and smoking's not going to get you there. So I decided to stand up and help the Montana rodeo that I love break away from tobacco.
Our physicians and athletic trainers have been building better athletes for over 20 years. We are the official sports medicine provider to the Billings Mustangs, MSUB Yellow Jackets, and Rocky Mountain College Battle Bears. AMP ensures that athletes of all ages and skill levels receive the training and medical care for top performance and to stay healthy. AMP, Athletic Medicine and Performance, powered by St. Vincent Healthcare, Ortho Montana, and Yellowstone Surgery Center.
The Battling Bears and the Blue Hawks of Dickinson State University, the Rocky Bowl at Herb Clint Field. Let's go to the highlights.
It was a hot day for the Battling Bears season opener against Dickinson State Blue Hawks. Dickinson marched down the field early, but the Bears' defense was able to hold them to a field goal. The Bears' offense was able to tack on a field goal as well to tie the game 3-3. On the next possession, number 45, Jake Hardy, loses the ball while going down, giving the Bears a chance to score. But the Blue Hawks defense came through and recovered a fumble from the Bears offense. Dickinson couldn't do anything with it, however, and check out this punt return by Andre McCullough. He sets up the Bears to score their first touchdown of the year, leading the Blue Hawks 10-3. Dickinson would only be able to tack on another field goal before the end of the first half. Score now 10-6, as their offense struggled against the Bears' defense. Starting the second half, Rocky puts together an impressive drive, with Chase White clicking with his receivers and picking up a lot of yards. But they are forced to settle for a field goal, the score now 13-6. The Bears would have another opportunity, but were once again stopped in the red zone and tack on another field goal, leading the Blue Hawks now 16-6. The Bears' defense, strong as usual, would give the offense another chance to score, and this time they would cash in, as Chase White throws a touchdown to Dylan Woodall. The Dickinson State offense continued to struggle, as shown here, with number 36 Billy Williams getting himself a sack. But the Blue Hawks would get it together and get a nice 36-yard rushing touchdown by number 21, Trey Boone. The Bears' defense, however, would seal the deal as number 12, Darrell Fulton, picks off Dickinson's quarterback as the Bears win the opener with a final score of 23-13. The Lady Bears volleyball team had a tremendous week as they went 5-0 in their matches, beating two nationally ranked teams in the process. This weekend, the Lady Bears beat the College of Idaho 3-0, Eastern Oregon 3-1, and Vanguard 3-1.
And welcome back to the Rocky Report from our new location at Pizza Hut on 16th and Grand here in Billings. Joined now by head football coach Brian Armstrong, a very happy Brian Armstrong, after a 23-13 victory over Dickinson State to open up the 2015 season. And first of all, Brian, congrats on the win. It was a lot of fun to watch. Great crowd.
Thank you. It was a good crowd. I know there was a lot of folks that traveled to Missoula and probably a lot of people in the local taverns enjoying the game, but we still had a good crowd at the Rock Bowl, so it was a fun day.
And really the weather turned out okay. I mean, it was hot, but I think that the smoke and the cloud cover kind of kept it a little bit better.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as bad as we had anticipated it being, so it was a nice day overall.
All right, Dickinson State, non-conference team now, used to be a member of the Frontier. They had a game under their belt. What worried you about going into this game?
Well, just that, I think. Typically you always hear, and I don't know if it's coach speak, I believe it, that your biggest improvement happens between game 1 and game 2. And so I was very nervous about that, and it was noticeable Dickinson was markedly improved, and now I'm hoping we're going to be markedly improved between game 1 and game 2.
Yeah, I think Pete Stanton's done a nice job over there taking over for Hank Biggio, and they started off strong. They got a good drive early in that first half, but I thought defensively you had an outstanding game.
Defensively, we played very well, I thought. You take that first half, there was 2 big plays and really 2 penalties they probably don't get on the board. We've shored some of that up in the second half, still had a couple pass interference calls, which are going to happen if you're playing aggressively, I think. But, overall, I thought a great way to start out the season defensively.
Yes, and offensively, some new faces, most notably at quarterback, and Chase White really put up some good numbers.
It took him a couple series to get settled in. I asked him that one time if he'd ever played quarterback before, and I think that kind of got under his dander a little bit, and he came out and he performed. I think he was 20-26, and I think 4 of those incompletions were on the first 2 drives. So he settled in and ended up having a great game, and so we're really excited about that.
Yeah, I was looking at the stats. 8 different receivers caught balls, 8 different running backs had yardage. It was kind of by committee, especially on the offense.
Yeah, offensively, I think we played 3 true freshmen yesterday and 2 other redshirt freshmen, so a lot of young guys saw time. If we can stay healthy, again, I think offensively for sure we should be able to improve as we kind of move through the season if we can keep guys upright and keep them on the field.
And Andre McCullough, the 2-time first-team All-American, had a great game, led you in receiving, and he kind of opens things up for some of the other players on the team.
That's the thing. It's hard to take a great player and convince them that if they're drawing 2 or 3 guys, that's complimentary. Great players want the ball every down, and Andre's no exception. But when it was his turn to make plays, he definitely made them. So we're glad to have him, that's for sure.
And relatively injury-free in the game?
We had a couple. That we don't know the complete outcome yet. We'll have to wait till the beginning of next week. But nobody's going to get through the season unscathed, unfortunately. So we'll hope for the best.
All right, we'll come back and talk about your alma mater, Montana Western, which is the conference opener for the Battling Bears. Stay with us. We're going to have a lot more. And let's take a look at the results from this past week around the Cascade and the Frontier Conference.
As a driven business owner, you want to pursue your dream, not worry about administrative chores, employee benefits, and HR. With Avitas Group, you don't have to. We'll provide the solutions you need. Everything from payroll and taxes to online marketing and IT. For each and every operational need, Avitas Group has an entire team of diverse, specialized professionals. Follow your dream. Leave the logistics to us.
The Ford Free Ride Sales Event is here for Labor Day. Now through September 8th, every 2015 Ford truck has 0% financing for 72 months for qualified buyers. Interest-free for 6 years. F-150, Super Duty, every built Ford Tough truck. 0% financing for 72 months on Ford F-Series, America's #1 selling truck. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on any built Ford Tough truck. The free ride ends September 8th. Hurry, see your local Ford store today.
And back and joined once again by head football coach Brian Armstrong, whose Battling Bears will open Frontier Conference play this Saturday at the Rocky Bowl in Herb Clint Field against Montana Western. a very good football team, Brian. What's a special meaning to you? You played your college football there, and they're very good. 19 starters back.
Yeah, they're very good. I think they've got a group of 22, 23 seniors, something like that, many of which have played. You know, they were Coach Norris, Athletic Director Norris's first recruiting class, a lot of those guys at Western when he was the head coach. And a lot of them have played since their true freshman year. And so a lot of experience, a lot of maturity on the field for them when they open it up next week.
And their head football coach, a guy that worked for you for a lot of years.
Yeah, I've known Coach Robertson for a long time, so be a little bit more competitive. We're going to definitely have to ratchet up the intensity and execution a few notches this week if we're going to be successful.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this last year on the show, but what's the difference between a non-conference game and a conference game? How much does it really kind of get going?
You know, I don't know that will be the difference. I think just the difference in my mind would be just the quality of opponent, and not taking anything away from Dickinson. I think Coach Stanton's done an unbelievable job there, but you know, that conference compared to the Frontier is just night and day difference. I think that we're going to play a much better football team than we played last week, this week, and now hopefully the advantage can swing back to us because we've got a game under our belt and they haven't yet. So hopefully we'll have some of the kinks worked out. Specifically,
what do you want to improve on after watching the Dickinson State film and watching the game?
Well, defensively, as we alluded to, just a couple big plays, so try to eliminate some of the big plays, and a couple of the penalties. A couple of them were just effort penalties, and I don't want to, you know, you're always going to have a few of those, and we can live with those. Offensively, without question, red zone offense is the big thing we need to clean up. We kind of move the ball at will on them in between the 20s, and we'll get into the red zone and couldn't put it in. So we need to make those threes into sevens if we're going to be successful.
Now, I got to ask you, a conference season opened up. College of Idaho upset Eastern Oregon. Did that surprise you a little bit?
You know, in the Frontier, I don't know that anything surprises me anymore. Golly, everybody's just so dang good that any given week, anybody can beat anybody. So it looks like it's shaping up to be another crazy year in the Frontier.
Is it a league that this year that there's a lot of different teams that could win it? I mean, is there any one team? I know the defending national champs in there. Well,
and you know, the two favorites in my mind square off this week in Helena with Carroll and Southern, and after that, you know, shoot, it's anybody can beat anybody. In this league, top to bottom, this might be I believe it's the most even I've seen the league since I've been in it.
And on that list, the Battling Bears.
We hope so, yes.
Hey, Brian, great job. Congrats on the win. Good luck against the Bulldogs, and hopefully we'll talk about a win next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Head football coach Brian Armstrong. Boy, it's going to be a good one. Rocky Bowl, 1 o'clock on Saturday for the Frontier Conference opener for the Battling Bears. We're going to take a break. Lots going on in Rocky Mountain College athletics this week. Let's take a look.
Picking up pieces of my life, sometimes there's ones I just can't find, but they found a home with you. And when I think about the things that we've been through, I know just one thing is true: life is better with you. Whoa, whoa, life is better with you.
We'll get you there. Tire-Rama and Cooper Tires are driving home the savings this fall. Now through October 31st, when you buy a set of 4 qualifying Cooper Tires at Tire-Rama, you'll get up to a $70 prepaid Visa card back by mail. Take the money and ride this fall with Tire-Rama and Cooper Tires, starting August 28th through the end of October. See your local Tire-Rama for details. Tire-Rama, more than just a tire store.
Well, welcome back to the Rocky Report, joined now by volleyball coach Laurie Kelly. A little bit tired after coming back from a tournament in Butte, a very tough tournament. And Laurie, you don't play an easy schedule. When are you going to give yourself a little tiny bit of a break?
Well, we played 9 games in a couple of weeks here, and we're going to play another 5 next week. Preseason's so important, and it's important to establish ourselves. So I'm glad that we're playing a tough schedule, and we'll have a break about September 11th.
You know, I think everybody learned last year, because you played such a great schedule, you kind of got propelled into that #1 ranking, and you stayed there the whole season. You're ranked number 5 right now, but you have played a number of nationally ranked teams already this year.
Yeah, and it doesn't get easier. So I think this weekend really helped us, get our spot as number 5 and stay there. People are going to respect us. Eastern Oregon was amazing. They're number 6. NAIA Game of the Week, Match of the Week, it was so good. And they deserve to be number 6. Vanguard as well, number 8, deserve to be in the top 10. So we are playing. Sometimes people get pre-ranked a little too high, and then you go, oh, they're just going off last year's record. But these guys are legit, so we had some great games.
Before we talk about the upcoming road trip, let's talk about last weekend, a big tournament in Butte. You did play number 6, Eastern Oregon. You won in 4. You played number 8, Vanguard. You won that in 4. It seems like your team's playing a little bit better each match that you play.
They are. We did put 2 freshmen in this weekend. We're having a hard time with our outsides. Aaliyah was sick last weekend, and Kylie's knee hurt this weekend. So we haven't had a full roster yet. But when we do, I think we'll be real scary. Ruby Cullenbach from Forsyth and Haley Kapinga gave us some great minutes this weekend when they had to step in. So we're excited about our freshman class as well.
So 5-0 last weekend. It doesn't get any easier this week. You have your rival, Montana State University Billings, on Tuesday night, and they're going to have a lot of new faces.
Yeah. I don't know if they're our rival, but it's a great game to have in town. We get a lot of local schools coming to watch this. And it's a cheap game. We're both in town. We don't have to travel. I love that they play us, and it gives us one more game not on the road.
And then you're back on the plane, and you head to Nebraska and Fremont, Nebraska, and those type of teams. But you played very good teams, again, nationally ranked teams in that tournament.
Well, I'm not saying we're going to go unblemished at these tournaments, but they do play as hard as they can. And it doesn't hurt you when you play those top 10 schools. If you do have a blemish on your record, I mean, they're top 10. That's what we want to play. And, you just don't want to pull a bad game against somebody non-ranked. And so we'd rather play those ranked teams when you don't have anything at stake. And
you've got some young student athletes in there. You have a lot of new faces. You lost some great seniors from last year. And how's the progress with them?
Good. We do have 4 seniors and that play all the time, 2 sophomores and 2 freshmen, basically. So our seniors they're amazing. Having your setter back is just a plus. And we've had this setter for 4 years. She had her 3,000th assist this weekend. So she hits the record books. That's a pretty amazing feat for a setter.
And Tori also set some personal records this week.
Yeah, that's who set it. She had the 3,000, and then Brooke Myers set 1,000 digs. So we did have a couple kids that are really putting some numbers up and playing real well. So we're excited.
What's the goal this weekend? Just to get better, or to try to come away with the 4 or 5 more wins?
We have to. I mean, this group is amazing. They just go out there and play as hard as they can. We make adjustments during the games, and they can do it. Our freshmen are learning the pace of the game, having a difficult time just knowing how fast it is and making those adjustments. And like they always say, there's no easy team. I mean, it's college. There are no weak players to pick on. Everybody's good. That's the hardest thing for young players coming in.
Are you just a little bit sick of hotel rooms and eating out? Or?
No, not when you're winning. You're never sick of any of that.
Well, good luck this weekend. I hope the trip goes well for you, and we'll see you here next week.
Thank you.
Head coach Laurie Kelly, boy, they're off to a great start, winning 7 matches in a row on their way to the number 5 ranking in the country. We're going to take a break, and as we do, we're going to take a look at our plays and our players of the week. Our players of the week had outstanding individual performances to help their teams to big victories. On the volleyball court, Coach Laurie Kelly's squad is off to a fast start at 7-2 and the number 5 national ranking. Leading the way is senior middle blocker Mariah Stiffarm out of Billings Skyview High School. The 6'3" standout is currently third nationally in kills and had 28 on Saturday in leading the Battlin' Bears to 4-game wins over nationally ranked Eastern Oregon and Vanguard University. And on the gridiron, Rocky and coach Brian Armstrong got off to a great start, defeating non-conference rival Dickinson State 23-13 at Herb Clint Field on Saturday. Senior kicker Evan Conley, a former Rocky Mountain College soccer standout, had a breakout performance in his first ever American football game. The 6'3" kicker from Waterford, Ireland, hit all 3 of his field goal attempts, a pair of PATs, and had all of his kickoffs sail through the end zone. And speaking of newcomers, Shelby native Chase White had a memorable game in his first collegiate start. The 6'3", 210-pound junior quarterback hit 20 of 26 passes for 279 yards and 1 touchdown in his debut. And on the defense, senior captain Eric Brewer of Huntley had an outstanding performance in leading the Rocky Mountain defense. The 5'9", 180-pound defensive back had 10 total tackles, including 7 solo stops, as the Battlin' Bears limited Dickinson State to under 300 yards in total offense. Our players of the week in this first week of action: Mariah Stiffarm in volleyball, and Evan Conley, Chase White, and Eric Brewer in football.
Picking up pieces of my life, sometimes there's ones I just can't find, but they found a home with you. And when I think about the things that we've been through, I know just one thing is true: life is better with you. Whoa, whoa, life is better with you.
Montanans have their own definition of what's important in life. Success takes discipline and perseverance. Dedication is more than just putting in your time. And trust is the foundation of long-standing relationships. In Montana, strength means something more. Stockman Bank was born from these principles. They've been the guiding source of our strength since day one. Stockman Bank, Montana banking, pure and simple.
And welcome back, joined now by 14-year head coach Richard Duffy of the Rocky Mountain College men's and women's soccer teams, and they haven't got into conference play yet. But Coach Duffy, you've had a number of different contests. You're playing Rocky later today, but you're feeling pretty good about this team.
Yeah, we're looking good at our men's program. We've had a few exhibition games and scrimmages, and we're a pretty young team in certain positions. But yeah, I'm excited about where this team can go. Obviously, we've been national tournament 3 years in a row, so we're kind of looking to take that next step and move on and get to the next level.
Now, what do you get out of these exhibition games? Do you try to play as many players as you can, or you try to set things up so you're ready for your openers?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of just trying different formations. I think with our men's team, we're kind of set. We're playing a similar formation to what we've played in the past, so it gives us an opportunity to play against a different team as opposed to playing each other in practice. Our women's team this year, we've kind of changed the formation based on some of those exhibition games, so that's helped us see what we can do and what we can do.
Now, the women last year, 1 game away from getting to the national tournament, losing in the regional final to Westminster. What can you tell us about the women's team this year? I know a lot of returnees back.
Yeah, we've got 4 seniors, 4 local kids from Billings that obviously when you lose, it's kind of in overtime to get to the national tournament for a trip to Florida. I think that's kind of stuck with them, you know. So I think they're doing a good job of leading the incoming class. We had 13 returners and 13 freshmen, so it's been interesting preseason trying to bond the team together. But looking forward to our game today against University of Great Falls.
Now that match will be non-conference, but let's talk conference. You're in a brand new conference now. You're in the Cascade Conference for both the women's and the men's teams. Provides a little bit more of a challenge.
Yeah, it is. We'll get to play some teams we haven't played in the past, and then obviously the main positive is we'll now have a chance to get 2 teams to the national tournament. So the regular season winner throughout the season will go to nationals, and then also the tournament winner. So it's a great opportunity for us to get more home games also.
Now, the men did get to the national tournament last year, losing to an undefeated University of Texas Brownsville. So it was such a tough game for them. They dropped all intercollegiate athletics, so you bumped him out of there, but a lot of returnees back. But on top of that, you have some very talented young student athletes that are coming in.
Yeah, our freshman class is by far the best class we've ever had. We had player Nolan Sherwood from Las Vegas, who was up for the Gatorade Player of the Year down there, that had numerous NCAA Division I offers, but decided that wanted a smaller school environment, and Rocky's a perfect fit. So I expect him to score a lot of goals for us, and also Donovan Lewis, who was tied the state record for goals in a season in high school at West High last year. So.
What are the goals for the men? I mean, I know once you've got to the national tournament, you have kind of a taste of it and you want to get back.
I think it's getting to that final sight. We've 3 years in a row we've kind of lost at the first hurdle. I think now it's a matter of, okay, can we get to that final sight? And we're not happy getting to the national tournament. Now it's a matter of, can we go there and can we win the national tournament?
Now these Great Falls matches today are the last for a couple weeks. You have to go on the road, a long bus trip to Kansas, and your schedule this year very, very challenging.
Yeah, we go down to Kansas. It's kind of a 5 or 6 day road trip. Go through Colorado, Kansas, come back up through North Dakota. So 3 games in 4 days. So it's going to be a challenge for the kids, but I think they're ready for it. So.
Do you try to bring them along slow, or do you want to get right into it and get things rolling?
I think just get right into it now. I think the kids are kind of sick of playing against each other in practice, and now they're looking forward to just playing a real game when it matters, you know.
And Wendy's Field, great home field for you, and we look forward to having a lot of fans come out to watch.
Yeah, we're excited. I think it's going to be a good day for soccer in Billings. So.
Good luck this year. We look forward to having you on the show throughout the year, and enjoy the home games this week before you hit the bus.
Sounds great. I appreciate you having me on.
Head coach Richard Duffy, great things ahead for the soccer teams at Rocky Mountain College. We're going to take a break, and as we do, let's look at the conference standings, both for the Frontier and the Cascade.
The Ford Free Ride Sales Event is here for Labor Day. Now, every 2015 Ford has 0% financing for 72 months for qualified buyers. Every car, SUV, and truck, you're free from interest. Plus $1,000 Labor Day bonus cash direct from Ford on cars and SUVs. Interest-free financing plus $1,000 bonus cash on cars and SUVs. That's 0% financing for 72 months on all vehicles, plus $1,000 bonus cash on cars and SUVs. Hurry, the Ford Free Ride ends soon at your local Ford store.
Well, that'll wrap things up for this week's Rocky Report. Special thanks to Brian Armstrong, Laurie Kelly, and Richard Duffy for joining us this week here at Pizza Hut on 16th and Grand in Billings. This week, some big activities for Rocky Mountain College Athletics. Saturday at 1 o'clock kickoff at Herb Clint Field, the Rocky Bowl, as the Battling Bears will open Frontier Conference play against the Bulldogs from the University of Montana Western. Montana Western, very good football team this season. And don't forget, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock at the Fortin Center, Laurie Kelly and the volleyball squad, ranked number 5 in the country, will host crosstown rival Montana State University Billings. Should be a lot of fun. It's always a great activity in the Fortin Center. That'll do it for this week. I'm Bruce Parker. We'll see you next week with the Rocky Report.